Welcome back to another episode of Spaceman 2.0. I'm going to bring you the truth that I know. I've been researching and contemplating these timelines for the longest of time. And this is what I believe. I don't mean to bring you doom and gloom, but this is how I believe it can play out according to the Illuminati's plans. They seem pretty much there. And there's a lot of interesting things they have in store for us and who they have to be on the world stage to bring in these new thought patterns. We all know Elon Musk presenting as like a savior for us to save us. You know, they're talking of the second coming of the Messiah and rapture and all this and all these things, I believe, have a relationship with the truth, but I believe the Illuminati use the truth, manipulate it, and get us to be deceived before the truth comes in hand. And so even the most elect will be deceived in these times. So what I want to help play out is what I believe will be the timeline of the rising of the Antichrist. And this is just a basic outline. You know, there's no detail in here except for a couple things, but basically you got to go into more detail. But in 1918, about 100 years ago, we had the Spanish flu, and then we went into 1920 with the new acid class. So they introduced a flu 100 years ago, and that became, you know, the introduction to the world stage of a new acid class being introduced, margins. 100 years later, 2018, the WF plan with the 2019 pre-trials of the new pandemic. So nothing is new under the sun. And in 2020, the new asset class was introduced. Crypto, just not so much. Right now, it's more introduced, going to be regulated very soon. Once this can happen, it can be an exact rerun of the margins and the roaring 20s back in the 1920s. Everything was happy in the 1920s until the late 20s. So, introduction of the man of power in 2022, I believe. The AC made his way on the world stage and even appeared in the UN, gave a little dissertation of how the world can get better. And in 2023, there's going to be more hidden in plain sight, getting recognition on TV sensationalism, or we don't even realize this could be the one. And the Hegelian dialect is the problem reaction solution, or the thesis antithesis synthesis, which is basically talk good about something, talk bad about something, and then find a common in between. So everyone has contemplated both sides, and now they've gotten steered into the solution side that they want them to be understanding. So this is a way to program people, is using different perceptions to finally get them to align, to accept the one perception, which could be a savior. So we have, you know, Elon Musk and people coming in to help bring us freedom and truth, and Trump as well. There's a blonde child that's on the mural of in the Denver airport of the apocalypse and stuff happening, and this blonde child kind of looks like the savior, and this blonde child has a similar connotation to Trump. Now in 2024, we're going to be going up and up. Okay, so we're just the perception of famine, food shortages, getting us to eat bugs, which cause actually cancer, because we can't break down all these components of these bugs and insects. They're only made for the stomachs of birds. So they're trying to get us to even eat things that will give us cancer. And this is ridiculous to help save the planet. Like, you know, we all know this is 100%. The green movement is the green horseman in the apocalypse. So look out for that code. In 2024, the economy is going to go up. It's going to get better. People are going to be happier. 2025, we can have a replay of the roaring 20s with crypto being regulated and everyone's starting to get into it. And I believe in about 2026, it could be that the AC signs a peace treaty. We accept him to say, oh no, he's a good guy. He's saying everyone should get along. And he signs the peace treaty, or that can happen a little bit later, 2028. But in 2026, 2027, 2028, there's a lot of things going to be happening. I think the King Solomon's temple will be rebuilt. It will be started at least. There'll be some plans to negotiate land and where to build it so no one's upset. And Digital assets will be invested in with borrowed funds, probably, because people will see them going up and up and say, "Oh, I got to get in on this." And the AC, like I said, will probably sign the peace treaty between Palestine and Israel, and whoever does that is the AC. Okay, that's been a big sign put out by Spaceman's told us this. And so, therefore, another 100 years from 1929 is 2029. Big collapse stock, could be crypto as well. People will lose their shirt. Why? Because they borrowed the funds to make more money instead of just using the little bit they have, and they can afford to lose it. So the last Soros cycle ends in 2036. This is why I believe the Antichrist will make his way on the world stage, becoming the man of power in either 2029 or 2030. 2030 works out to be WEF's agenda. He will own nothing and be happy. Looks like the world leader will walk in at this time to the new King Solomon temple built and declare himself God. And when that is done, okay, there's about 7 years of the AC's reign, where 3.5 years he's looking like the Prince of Peace, helping everyone, and he's happy-go-lucky, and then the ships of Chittim shoot him in the head, someone shoots him in the head, and he comes back alive, and they showed us that in the media for the last years, people getting shot and coming back up to live again after some rehabilitation. Some politician, a lady, I forget her name, but you guys know who I'm talking about if you've done your research. So they've been putting that in our mind's eye, subconscious, that someone can get shot and come back alive. And after this happens, then he gets truly inspired with the spirit of the Antichrist, and goes on a rampage of probably making hell on earth, right? So that's the timeline. I don't want to scare anyone, but maybe it helps to understand maybe some ways to get ready, to discipline your mind. Mental preparation is one of the most important. Helps the emotions and helps the physical to start to maybe raise some capital, get some food in order, or move to a place that will be more happy and more self-sufficient. So with that being said, I believe that this could be a potential rising of the Antichrist. Now, I do know that we are made in the image of God, and we have the power, like Christ, to develop positive means to overcome this way. So what I want to tell everyone is that by the exposure of these plans, they don't need to be played out, okay? Nothing needs to be played out that's an evil. We can just expose the evil one's plans, and hopefully we wake up to live within the laws and the laws of God and the principles of Christ, and we can all learn to get along, which most religions actually live within the principles of Christ if you travel around the world. Okay, all these different religions in Asia actually are living within the principles of Christ. 90% of them. They're wonderful human beings with beautiful concepts and understanding of how to give to people that most people in the Western world wouldn't even understand their level of understanding the connection they have with people. So with that being said, love thy neighbor, do good unto yourself and unto others, and have a wonderful day. I'm Spaceman 2.0, and I'm out.